Now we're recording. Hello Facebook, hello Instagram, hello YouTube, hello everybody. Marcus Guiliano here. What's happening? Sorry, I have sunglasses on today. My eyes are a little sensitive. I think I'm having a little allergy flare up. I was traveling and sunglasses are best. So sorry about that. It's a little different than normal. But I wanted to talk to you today about Ryan Deiss's #1 marketing strategy for 2020. A lot of you know who Ryan Deiss is. Ryan Deiss is probably the internet's #1 marketer. Been doing it a long time, doing it very long. Marketed his own products, many of his own products, hundreds of his own products. So he's just not somebody who's getting up and talking about theoretically what to do. Sort of like myself when I help restaurants coach. When I coach restaurants, I consult with them. I'm doing the same things that I do in my own business. It's not just a theory like, well, this should be working. No, this is what I do and this is what works. And I really like that about Ryan Deiss. He's been all in it. So just recently saw Ryan Deiss speak for the second time. Ryan Deiss, let's check him up. I think it's digitalmarketer.com is his website. The guy is just, again, a master at marketing. So he did 2020's prediction for the best marketing techniques, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, and what you should 100% be doing. And he called this marketing technique the cockroach of marketing because you just cannot kill it. So first of all, what did Ryan Deiss say not to do for marketing? Well, he said that blogs are out. Nobody reads blogs, and blogs, forget about a blog. He goes, just forget about your blog altogether. Unless you're specifically, that's your niche and you've done blogs and you're getting business from it, this and that. See, we only have so much time to put our resources into it, our energy into it. So if you're doing all of these things, what could you literally make do one less of and do better on the other side? So this is what this is about, maximizing. So, I mean, I do a lot of platforms. We post blogs. I don't spend much time doing blogs, but we do post blogs. But Ryan Deiss said, nobody's really reading blogs. So he went down with literally what's getting people's attention. And what is getting people's attention? He goes, people are on their phone every single day. People are on their phone every day. So he threw up this graph and he goes, okay, people go to their phone every day. Well, what are they doing on their phone? What are the most commonly used apps? And he went through all these apps. He goes, okay, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's all these things that people are clicking onto every single day. And he goes, the one thing that millennials are fighting an email address. Millennials are like, no email, you Snapchat me, you do this, you do that, you hook up with me, connect with me on a platform, but not email. And he goes, what happens when millennials get jobs? They get emails. So basically, Ryan Deiss says the #1 you should be going all in 2020 is your email marketing. Now, whether you're watching this video in 2021, the advice is probably going to be very similar. 2022, 2018, 2017, 2015. I just happened to watch him speak in the beginning of 2020, and I watched him speak in the beginning of 2019 too. But this speech was all on email marketing. He literally called it the cockroach of marketing. You cannot kill it. It was the very first type of marketing, email marketing, and it's still happening. Of course, open rates have dropped. We've done a lot to ruin email. Now, I'm in the restaurant world, and in the restaurant world, only 18% of restaurants actually do some kind of campaign. Out of those 18%, about half of them actually have an active campaign of email, an active email campaign. That means there's about less than 10% of restaurants out there that are actually sending out emails. They're sending out email newsletters. Ryan was very specific. It's an email newsletter, which is what is happening, which is where the gold is, the email newsletter. And what do you put in your email newsletter? You might be asking. That's what I'm going to talk about in just a moment here. So Ryan Deiss says that when you go onto your phone, the one thing that every app opens up every single day, before Instagram, before Twitter, before Facebook, before Snapchat, or more than, is going to be email. People check their emails. So, but it's not just any email that's going to get their attention or that they're going to open. It's you have to have a specific strategy. So just don't, because I'm saying this, just don't go out and get an email account and start blasting out emails, because there is a specific strategy to it. I'm gonna reveal Ryan Deiss's strategy. I paid a lot of money to go to this conference. I traveled across the country to listen to him speak, and it was amazing. So, email in the restaurant industry, there's only 9%. If you're a restaurant owner, a restaurant manager, and you're finding this video and you're not doing email, start email ASAP. Start it ASAP and get it going. So there's only 9% of other restaurants actually doing something actively on an email platform, which is going to set you apart to begin with. And if you've noticed, a lot, because I subscribe to a lot of emails, a lot of the restaurants that are active on it are chain restaurants. Maggiano's, Landry's. These are big chains, and they're the ones that know the value of it, and they're being very active and progressive on emails. So now, what should be in your email? So Ryan Deiss says that the email newsletter, it's the newsletter aspect of emails that is most valuable, and that's what you want to focus on, is creating an email newsletter. So how do you do that? Very simple. So think about the things that you keep answering questions on in your business. Get the 10 top questions. And we just executed this the other day, by the way, at this approach. We've done newsletters, email newsletters for years, but with the new approach, and it flowed so easy, and I was able to delegate it out, and somebody else wrote all the copy, and I came in and put my touches on, and we were able to crank out an email for ourselves and for a couple clients just like that. It was, wow, it's like, this is a great approach. So that approach is to figure out the questions that need to be answered in your business. So for example, restaurant, we have a lot of wine. What is Chianti wine made out of? What grape is it? Where's it from? So if you have Chianti wine on your menu at your restaurant, and people are coming in, they're not familiar with Chianti wine because they're familiar with Chardonnay or Cabernet or Merlot. Chianti might be a foreign, not such a foreign term, but they might not be aware of what's in Chianti, which is Sangiovese grape. It comes from Tuscany, from a specific region in Tuscany, northern Tuscany. So it encompasses certain questions. So if you go into Quora and you type in Chianti wine, it'll tell you the 5 or 10 most popular questions that were ever asked on Chianti wine. And this is really cool because you have all these subjects right in there, questions that people have answers to. You know, it's answered in Quora. You can go on and check references. And there's also other sites too, like asked.com, like ASKED, asked.com, or recently asked. He listed a bunch of websites that are the same exact format as Quora, where people are going on and asking questions. Now, if you're in the wine business, okay, you're a wine writer, you're selling wine, this, that, you can actually go on Quora and these websites and actually answer questions and be the expert that comes up to the top and answer question after question after question. That's really cool too. That's the other side of these platforms. But you can literally go, like, if you're a restaurant that's just now introducing better beers in your beer program, people might be saying, well, what is an IPA? Like, what is a hazy IPA versus a non-hazy IPA? Go in the Quora, type in hazy IPA, and it'll pop up. Why? So these are all educational things you can educate your clients with, your guests, your diners, your patrons. Simms clothing store, back in the 90s, they would always say on their ads that their best guests, or their best customers are an educated customer. And they would spend time educating customers on higher quality of clothes. So you want to educate your guests, your patrons, your clients, your customers with what you're doing. And so for us, it's big farm to table. We have a big wine list. I have endless topics. And if you think about it yourself, because this is the one thing that most restaurateurs say to me when I speak to a restaurateur about marketing, about email marketing, they're like, I just don't know what to say. Right? So now you can take specific menu items, you can take specific dishes. If you're located in Philadelphia, the Philly cheesesteak, what's the history of it? What are the most common questions on the Philly cheesesteak? What's the best beef to use for Philly cheesesteak? What's the best bun to use for chili? These questions can all be answered and formulated into emails where you're now communicating in a newsletter what this is, okay? If you're in Boston, if you're in New England, we just did one on New England clam chowder today versus Manhattan clam chowder. We did a whole thing on the history, who invented it, when it was invented, all these things based upon the information that popped up when we put clam chowder in Quora. And it came up to this beautiful email that was constructed that I had no part in, that one of my assistants was able to do it and just execute it. So you are missing out if you're not doing email marketing. An email newsletter specifically, I would suggest getting, if you don't have MailChimp or Constant Contact or any of those other ones, we use ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is what I feel one of the most progressive email platforms out there. If you're on my website, 50mistakes.com, restaurantgrowthsecretsuniversity.com, even marcusguiliano.com, on the bottom down there'll probably be an option for ActiveCampaign. Just click there and it'll take you there and it'll give you a demo. We actually have a course in Restaurant Growth Secrets University all on email marketing. I think there's 20 or 30, 35 videos in there, all on how to execute, features, all these kinds of things going through ActiveCampaign. So on that ActiveCampaign platform, we're happy to give you that. And if you're in Restaurant Growth Secrets already and you're watching this video in Restaurant Growth Secrets, you have access to it. It's one of the courses in there that you definitely have access to. Go watch it, understand what the options are and what you can do, because email platform and doing email nowadays is not just about sending an email out and walking away and then making another email the next week and walking away. There's a lot of analytics, in-depth analytics. You need to know who's clicking what are they clicking, where are they going. You can bucket people or segment people. If they're clicking a wine email, or if they're opening a wine email with a wine subject, you put them in a segment of wine lovers. If they're opening up a vegetarian email, new vegetarian dish, and they're opening it up, you bucket those people, segment them into a vegetarian. So you segment, and people inside that are clicking links in the email, you segment all of those people out and have them in all different buckets. So when you send an email out for wine lovers, you're going to send an email out to people that have already engaged in a wine topic, just like Facebook targeting ads on Facebook. You advertise people that have an interest of wine. Well, all these things can be figured out in ActiveCampaign, what these people have interest on. You have to set up the parameters and set up tags and then set up different lists if you want, all kinds of things. You have the resend option, really cool things that are actually in there. So I'm happy to help with that. So yeah, Ryan Deiss's 2020 prediction is, or that's what he focuses on, teaches his clients, is the email newsletter. Email newsletters are not dead. They're very cost effective to do. You get on these platforms, you upload 1,000 contacts, 10,000 contacts, and you could never reach that many people. And granted, your open rates are 10, 15, 20% are fantastic open rate, but this is your job now as the owner, as the boss, as the marketer, to create these engaging emails. And again, you need to balance, so don't always just send it. This is where some of the big chains miss out. And I see some of these big chains that I subscribe to their emails. It's always just 15% off, 10% off, $10 gift card, this, free this, buy one, get one. It's just always like a constant promotion. People want to have some added value to when they read your content. It's sort of like you've gotten their time, it's a privilege. So make it interesting. Make it interesting to where they are wanting to read, or maybe entertaining. Make something entertaining, a joke of the month, a joke of the week, something in there that'll make people laugh and entertain, as well as just not. You can't just do nonstop sales pitch. People will turn you off and they will delete, and they will get annoyed. Just like that salesperson that calls all the time, your phone. They call, right? You're like, just, you hang up on them to a certain point. We're like, don't call me anymore, right? But if they called you and said, hey, I got a couple tips for you to fix your credit. Do this, and this. Call your credit card company. Tell them this specific lingo, and get your credit card things reduced, as opposed to trying to sell you I'll take care of it for you. The package is $500. As opposed to them hitting you message after message after message with buy my product. If they gave you tips on how to do things, you'd respect them more. So you have to think about that. This is not just sales pitch after sales pitch. You have to get people to respect your message, and that will increase your open rates. All right, folks, 2020 or whatever year it is, the newsletter, the email marketing newsletter. Email is the cockroach of all marketing. It's here. It can't be killed. Take advantage of it. Use it. It's inexpensive. And hopefully that provided some value and some angles for you to start working a very strong, successful email campaign.